What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today we're gonna do a mock the mock. Missed it last week, but we're back on it this week, getting healthier, getting back to normal. Let's kick into this. Let's have a little bit of fun. Of course, if you guys are new, like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that YouTube stuff. Post content almost every single day. So if you guys love the NFL draft, you know where it's at. It's at right here. So let's go. Number one, KT. Pretty much a given at this point. If any mock draft says otherwise, it's like, come on. So KT just has that like Myles Garrett type potential. He's just an athletic freak. So big fan of KT. We'll just skip that for right now for time's sake. 2, Derek Stingley to the Texans. Interesting because I do understand they do need a corner. And I also understand that this corner class has quite a few pieces. In the second round, honestly, you can get a high-level corner. But, you know, this edge class is so damn good as well that you could get an even higher level edge in round 2. I hate the fact it's only round 1 because if we could see round 2, that'd be awesome to see how they think and how they progress. Kind of sucks. I mean, I just don't think Derek Stingley is worth the number 2 overall pick. Usually corners aren't worth these top 3 picks just in general. The value on like their return on investment just isn't great, and corner is just too volatile of a position to spend that high of a pick on, unless it is someone like Derek Stingley, just number 2. That's rich. So not my exact cup of tea. I would personally try to go after edge right there or offensive tackle. I don't know how much Texans fans like their situation at tackle. Obviously, your left tackle, you are set forever. Laramie Tunsil's an absolute freaking beast. Right tackle, though, just saying, not a bad idea. Number 3 with the Eagles, Kyle Hamilton. That sounded very viscous. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's the same pick I do all the time. I would consider edge at that spot, but again, I can't take like Kyle Hamilton is just too elite of a safety to negate at that point. He can play in that slot role if you want him to. I know Zach McPherson's there, played his first game. Started his first game, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, that's not the matter right now. Kyle Hamilton can play wherever you want him to. He has unbelievable talent. Could be ending up as one of those Jesse Bates style safeties that just take over the game when they want to. Kyle Hamilton is an absolute freak. I do like his I like taking these generational or one of a type, these unicorn style players up at the top, rather than going maybe a guy like, you know, even like Aiden Hutchinson, like getting unicorns over like a Bosa product. It's not a terrible idea. And it's pretty fun, especially for the Eagles. Jets getting Aiden Hutchinson. I don't know how much the Jets need edge rusher above everything else. However, with everything that's given to them, it's either that or else you're going to go Evan Neal here. Like if you go anything but edge or Evan Neal, you know, you have some big questions to ask your GM. Just again, Aiden Hutchinson, he is that Bosa level talent. He has 39 pressures on the year, not including this last weekend. Of course, I was just looking at the stats during the weekend, so we have not yet had the PFF updates on that. Regardless, this guy's an absolute freak. I love his explosiveness. He just adds that game record mentality, and that is a big, big, big plus. So Aiden Hutchinson to the Jets. Not a shabby pick. Evan Neal to the Jaguars. You know me. I love it. If the Jaguars are at number 1 overall, still taking Evan Neal. You guys know where it's at. Washington game, Matt Corral. He seems most pro ready. You know, I talked to my buddy Keelan last night, and if you guys have been here since the beginning, which not many of you have, so glad that y'all have come along. He was here for the first couple episodes because he was supposed to be the co-host of the entire show. And we'll ignore the rest of that, but he watched Matt versus Malik this last week. I sent him the highlights from ESPN college football, and he was like, dude, I know the stats don't say it, but Malik looked better. He looked better as a prospect, not as a player, because obviously, you know, Matt did a lot better completion percentage and stuff like that. But Malik, as a true Houdini style player, looked past the eye test better. And I totally agree with that. And that's me coming and saying that against my high school quarterback. I love Matt. I think I'd rather take a shot at Malik. But I think Matt Corral is much more pro ready, and a team that needs a pro ready quarterback And Matt still is a great quarterback. He's still a solid ass quarterback. I think he has a chance to lead this team to the playoffs, if not the Super Bowl. I do think he's better than Taylor Heineke. He has the chance to actually bring this team somewhere. Malik Willis will take a couple years to do that, but Malik Willis might be able to sustain it longer. I think Washington's more ready now. I think Matt's a better fit. So if you guys want to watch the mock draft that might be coming out on Wednesday or Thursday, God only knows anymore, you'll see. Eagles getting to Marvin Leal. I don't blame him. I really don't. That's a really damn solid edge and interior defensive lineman that you can use. You can put him anywhere on this defensive front. And that's my only issue. I don't have DeMarvin Leal above Aiden Hutchinson for this main reason is that he just is. There's a big bust factor with DeMarvin Leal as to where you play him. Like if you play him in the interior, there's a big bust factor. I think he fits very well on an edge, but his weight doesn't say that. That's just the only issue. I think that his bust factor comes from how teams will use him rather than how he is himself. But I think that the Eagles could use him. They're talking about Fletcher Cox in here. You know, I just don't like the idea if you're going to try to use him as an interior. He needs to be an edge. He really does. I don't like this idea of using him as an interior defensive lineman. You just got to use him as a big ass edge. At 8 with the Giants getting Karlaftis, I don't feel comfortable. As much as I love Karlaftis, right? I actually made a rankings with I made a top 32 just for fun for Keon, but I have Karlaftis right around that 11 spot. Like 11 is probably where I have Karlaftis right now. So I don't hate it. It's just, it's hard to pick a top 10, like take a guy top 10 if you're in the situation where this guy has not been healthy consistently. Like availability is the best ability. And George Karlaftis has top 5 talent. He's not a top 5 prospect. He has top 5 talent. But again, if you're not on the field, speaking of the Giants, you know, if your star player, Saquon Barkley, not on the field, not really doing much for you then, is it? And it also can degrade their play over time. I don't know how much I like that. To be honest with you, I don't know how much I like it. Number 9, Dolphins, Garrett Wilson. Really hate that pick. You know, you have an after the catch threat already that you drafted at number 6 last year. You can definitely gain a shit ton of draft capital by trading back. It's a prime position to do that too. You get an extra first round pick for fuck's sake. There's teams that are quarterback needy who will trade up to this spot, not up to the top 5, but probably around this spot. And you could even get guys like Tyler. If you really want to, you can get Tyler Linderbaum here. That's another pick I'd be fine with, but don't get Garrett Wilson. If you're going to get anybody, get someone who's an actual like perimeter threat and who's going to be a deep threat. You can actually push the field, or it can be a true number 1. That's where it's like, okay, I'm okay with Chris Olave, or else obviously you look at Drake London. You can look at even George Pickens, Traylon Burks. I'm not a huge fan of that, but Garrett Wilson is probably the worst fit for the Dolphins out of those wide receivers. And yet he goes here and he's my number 1 wide receiver. So not biased. Jets getting Booth. Interesting. I love his athleticism. There you go. Stellar athlete, but you got to see past that. Athleticism gets you pretty far, but there are some corners in this class that are extremely good athletes that are better at the corner position. They're better at mirroring. They're better at coverage. And I love Booth. He was my number 2 corner at the start of the year. And of course, the other Kyrie Elam and Sauce Gardner are like right behind. It's just, he hasn't taken that step up that I wanted to. He still has big lapses in his play, while Kyrie Elam and Sauce Gardner are still dominating. He's my cornerback 4 right now. And I mean, that's putting him above Trent McDuffie. So take it as you will. Giants getting Drake London. Oh, why? Like, you just paid a shit ton of money for Kenny Golladay. Like, I just don't think that this is a good draft at all for the Giants. You need help on the defensive line. I'm okay with where they went with that. Obviously, they could have went Karlaftis here. They need help on the offensive line, though. I mean, I could see them going Tyler Linderbaum and Darian Kennard. Legitimately, I could see that happening. I just don't know. I have to study a little bit more about Tyler Lemieux's build, because I don't know if his name's actually Tyler Lemieux, Shane Lemieux's build. And if it fits closer, similar to what Tyler Linderbaum does, we could see a double offensive line pick. So we'll see. Vikings team, Jordan Davis. They already have two big ass dudes in the middle. I just don't know why they continue investing on the middle when they have obvious issues on the outside. Panthers getting Charles Cross. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I like Icky a little bit more, but that's just a nitpick. So that's a good pick right there. Although I would say be on watch for a quarterback here. A team that I don't think is going to go quarterback is Desmond Ridder to the Eagles. Like, I just don't think this team's going to go after one. It doesn't feel right. Jalen Hurts has barely started a season. I don't even know if he's started a season's worth of games yet. I don't think he has. And to be honest, you guys, your winning formula has nothing to do with the quarterback. Right now, it's been running the ball. You almost beat the Chargers, a Super Bowl contender, by running the ball. So either invest in the offensive line or make your defense better so when you run the ball, they don't score on you. I don't think Desmond Ridder offers much over Jalen Hurts. That's a big shocker to some Desmond Ridder fans. And I watch Desmond Ridder every single year destroy my SMU Mustangs. He's not going to offer much. So I don't really get that pick at all. I think it's a pretty bad one, especially with the man Malik Willis on the board. To the Broncos, seems like a guy that like the Broncos organization would be into. Like Elway loves his heavy arm quarterbacks, but I mean, I'm not going to blame him, dude. I'm really not going to blame him. Malik Willis is going to be here, sure, take a shot on him. I can't blame you at all. Next, Kenyon Green to the Bengals. If you want to use him as a right tackle, sure. I just like what you're going to say, fuck you to Quentin Spain. Like, you got plenty of guys who are good fits at the guard spot, and you want somebody who should probably be at right tackle. That's the only way I could see it. So I'm reading this pick right now while I'm talking to you guys. And it's like, you don't need an interior guy right now. That's not my priority. My priority would be to get a right tackle. Tackles are 10 times as valuable as guards. You got Quentin Spain for like dirt cheap, and he's been a solid enough dude. I don't get it. Also, you still have guys like I'm bugging on his name from last draft, kid out of ECU. I was a big fan of him too. And he's a guard prospect. You drafted him as a guard. And then obviously Jackson Carman. So you have guys who are that guard spot. If you want to draft Kenyon Green saying, hey, we kind of see this guy as a right tackle, left tackle duo, I got you. Also, never mind. I was going to bring up Icky in here, but nah, yeah, he's an actual tackle. Devin Lloyd to the Browns. I don't think they're going to go after like an actual like 3-down linebacker. It just doesn't feel like that's what the Browns have been doing. They haven't been doing draft picks like that. If they're going to go after anybody, it might be Nakobe Dean. Just again, he could probably replace Walker there on that lineup. I'm pretty sure they brought him on for a short-term contract anyways. So I think that you go with the highest upside, and that's exactly what they do. They got JOK. They got Greg Newsome last year. They're going after young prospects here, not these ancient ass dudes. So don't really like that much. Chiefs getting Chris Olave. The more the merrier. I don't think the wide receiver realm is where the biggest issues are. I think it's the entire defense is a huge, big mess up. And then honestly, the offensive line hasn't been doing too hot. Falcons getting Myjai Sanders. I can see it. It's pretty ballsy to have Myjai be above some other prospects in the edge realm, but it is what it is. Obviously, I'm going to be leaning more towards corner, especially with my boy Kyrie Elam on the board. But, I'm just going to reserve my personal feelings. I'm going to look more at what position they go after because everybody has their own rankings. I would go corner here for a left cornerback, but edge is a legit position of need. Patriots getting corner, especially Kyrie Elam. It seems like it makes sense. It really does. But wide receiver would have been a good position if Chris Olave. Chris Olave is a little bit of the exact same what the Patriots have, but still that separation ability is pretty awesome. You get Mac Jones, his Devontae Smith. Sure. But Kyrie Elam or getting a corner is not a bad idea. Steelers getting Carson Strong. It's just the idea that these NFL teams are going to draft quarterback. I think people have gotten too comfortable with it. We've had some really, really good classes that have come out, and people are getting too cocky with how much teams are down for a quarterback. I mean, if Drew Lock falls to the second in his respective draft, Carson Strong probably will be there too. I just don't like this idea of how every single time there's a draft, we have like 5, 6 quarterbacks in the first. Like that is a ballsy ass statement. We never used to see that before these drafts. And finally they're starting to happen. And that's just because we have some really good quarterback talent. But the talent's dropped quite a bit, guys. I think the depth is a lot better. So I think teams might be willing to fix needs with positions of value rather than that. I think Steelers, if they're in this spot, I think that they can go after a right tackle. They can go in that realm, or they can go even Sauce Gardner since he's on the board. Trent McDuffie. You know, there's some really good corners on the board as well. I just don't think that Carson Strong is what the Steelers would be looking for. He's too much of a project right now. And if you're gonna get a project, you might as well get a guy. You might as well get a guy in the second round, or get Kenny Pickett right now. If you want a day one impact, get Kenny Pickett. But regardless, Bills getting Tyler Linderbaum. Screw you to TDN because that's what they do every time. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. Sauce Gardner to the Saints. Sure. I hope to God that they keep Jameis Winston. Otherwise, they better get Kenny Pickett at that spot. They need somebody to win right now. Cowboys, Jaquan Brisker. Big fan of that. It's a good safety. I personally would go Jordan Battle. Darian Kennard to the Raiders. That's a beautiful fit. I love that. Big fan, and it fits exactly what they would draft. Don't think they're going to be able to select him because he's going to get some hype. But regardless, Drake Jackson to the Chargers, it's a fit. No offensive linemen aren't on the board anymore, except a Cam Aquanu, but he's a left tackle. I'm fine with it. Buccaneers getting Ekem, 100% fine with that. Big fan of Ekem. Lions getting Traylon Burks, another really good pick. Trent McDuffie to the Titans, I can see that too. Trent McDuffie, Elijah Molden, as well as Caleb Farley. Hopefully, if he does not have a degenerative knee issue, awesome. Really good for the future. Packers, Jahan Dotson. Not exactly what you're looking for. You know, you probably want an actual number one, but cannot blame them for going after a really high-end receiver like Dotson. I do like him a lot. Adam Anderson to the Ravens. Don't know if he fits. I don't usually see too many 230-pounders at edge for the Ravens. That doesn't seem like it's a good schematic fit. Kingsley and Nagbear, though. Keep your eye on that. Enjoy. Why? Like that? Why? You're just getting AJ Green, like another AJ Green? That is, I don't really get that. So overall, this was a pretty trash draft. I'm gonna be honest. It just gets me in a little bit of a bad mood because these guys are employed. These guys are respected as the top guys, and they're making boneheaded decisions. Regardless, that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. See you on the far side. Peace.